You know, I asked the leader of the opposition, I shared a little bit of that story, and I asked him how he could look that little girl in the eye and say she doesn't deserve access to diabetes medication, that she doesn't deserve access to life-saving devices. And his answer was to spew misinformation. His mom told me she could barely think about anything except for how much the medication and devices cost her daughter with diabetes. She was 3 or 4 years old. I don't know how anyone could look that little girl in her eye and say that she doesn't deserve access to life-saving medication. Why does the member think that he and his family deserve coverage and this family and families just like them across Canada don't?
Bravo.
Well, first of all, if the member thinks that parliamentarians have too good coverage, she can put forward a motion to cut it back. But instead what she's done is to propose to cut back drug plans for everyday Canadians, particularly unionized Canadians. Roughly 90% of Canadians have some drug coverage. But the bill that the NDP and Liberals have put forward requires a single payer. Single payer means only a federal government plan. How does she look hard-working Canadians in the eye while she promises to take away their hard-won, collective bargaining, secured drug coverage?
He said Pharmacare, and I quote, will roll back the rights that unions have fought so hard and so long to secure. Our labor movement fought too hard to secure private drug plans, and we will never let big centralizing bureaucratic government in Ottawa take away those rights from workers. And yet, the major unions in Canada are calling for universal single-payer Pharmacare. United Steelworkers, CUPE, Canadian Federation of Nurses Union, Unifor, I could go on. Many of these unions have specific campaigns advocating for single-payer, universal Pharmacare. Unions across Canada came out celebrating the fact that the NDP were able to force this government to first provide contraception and diabetes medication, diabetes devices, but also lay the legislative framework for universal Pharmacare for all.